Hey everybody, and welcome back to my weekly reading vlog. It is now Wednesday at 11:45 in the morning. So yes, I am starting this one really late, mostly because I haven't been reading. Um, it was really one of those things where I was like, on Sunday, I was like, I'm gonna start my reading vlog and it's gonna be on time and everything. And then I realized I hadn't read anything in my book. And so I was like, well, tomorrow. I'll do tomorrow after I've read a little bit. It'll be great. And then I really didn't read much of anything at all. And this kept happening until well, it's Wednesday. I got to start. And I did actually read a chunk of this last night, but we are talking about The Silvered Serpents by Roshani Chokshi. So this is the second book in the Gilded Wolves trilogy. It's like young adult, it's fantasy, it's set in the 1890s in Paris. Well, the first book is mostly in Paris. This one actually we travel to Russia, which is interesting. Um, and like we're following a group of people who are kind of Indiana Jones heist-esque thing. Like they're solving like the problems and figuring out where things are and then going and stealing it. So in this particular book, they have a lead on this really like priceless ancient artifact, and so they have to travel to Russia to kind of figure out where it's actually hidden. I like this book, but I don't think that this is the book that really fits my mood, which is unusual. Like, I don't generally have a ton of moods that I get into for reading, but it's just not quite what I want right now. And so I've been, sluggish getting through it. Additionally, I am doing other things like crafting. Like, I ended up with a bunch of pendants that I found. I buy pendants at like Michael's and Joann's, and then I make jewelry from it, which I really like doing. These earrings, actually, that's what I did. I bought the pendant and added an O-ring and the hook and everything. Now I've got a great pair of earrings. So I've been doing some stuff with that to kind of like deal with these pendants and this jewelry that I wanted to make. Also, okay, I've been making my Christmas ornaments because that's what I do. We don't give out gifts to anybody other than like nieces and nephews, and then of course our kids. But I make candy canes for all the, or I make ornaments for all the adults. And this year it's like a beaded candy cane, which is freaking gorgeous. I love it. And it takes me 3 or 4 hours to do one, and I need to do like 22 of them. I don't know what I was thinking when I decided to do this. Um, so I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I keep thinking like maybe I should listen to an audiobook, but like my library doesn't have any of the audiobooks that I'd actually be interested in listening to. It's a mess. Anyway, that's what I've been doing instead of reading this book. Anyway, I'm on page 128 now, so I have read some since last week, not as much as I would like to. I am enjoying this for the most part. There is one thing that I'm having a really hard time with, and that's basically one of the characters is having a very particular kind of character arc that I am not really here for. I don't like being in his perspective at all, and that is slowing down my reading as well. So it's good and I like it, but it's not really my mood, and there's a particular like plot thing that's happening that I just don't enjoy. So I don't know, like a part of me thinks that I really should just choose a different book and put this aside, but the other part of me is like I'm not going to want to come back to this anyway. Like I will I don't know how to explain it. So I just like I've just decided I'm going to continue on, and I will try to finish it out and just be done with it. Like again, I am still enjoying a lot of parts of this. It's just I don't feel compelled to pick it up. And part of it is I want to finish this book because When Sorrows Come by Seanan McGuire came in the mail. This is the new release for the October Day series, and it's the 15th book. I really want to read this because it's part of my favorite series, but I've decided that I cannot until I finish The Silvered Serpents. So, The Silvered Serpents, that is obviously my priority. I would really love to finish this, well, as soon as possible, but I'm going to aim for Friday, finishing it up on Friday, so that I can pick up When Sorrows Come over the weekend and just enjoy myself with it. That is the plan, at least. We'll see how it goes. But that is all I have for this particular update. So until next time, bye. Hey everybody, it is now Saturday night at about 10:15, so it is time for me to wrap up this reading vlog. We're going to start with an absolute dumpster fire of a book that I DNF'd, and that is Shakespeare's Landlord by Charlaine Harris. So I made it 20 pages in before I DNF'd this. It is an adult murder mystery of sorts, and, oh, it's not even of sorts, it is an adult murder mystery. But essentially, this book, as well as the rest of the books in the series, had been sitting on my shelf for a really long time because when I originally read them, I liked them. And every time I would talk about these books on my shelf, when I did like a shelf tour or something, I'd be like, don't read this, I don't recommend it. And it's because there's a ton of content warnings, it's not that great, and like I couldn't exactly remember much about it because it had been so long. And like I knew that those content warnings were probably not handled very well because Charlaine Harris does not generally handle them well. So I was just like, please don't read this. And then I thought maybe I should reread it just to see. And I made it 20 pages in before the writing was too terrible for me to take anymore. So there you go. It's a dumpster fire. Don't read this series. So after that, I did actually finish The Silvered Serpents by Roshani Chokshi. So I finished this literally like 10 minutes ago, so my thoughts are still very, very scattered. But here's the thing. I know I complained a lot in the last clip, and the thing is, I also knew that if I just sat down and read it, I would probably get sucked into it and fly through it. And that is exactly what happened. I did not read any more of this until today, and then I finished it. So yeah, that I will say that character arc really was very difficult to deal with, even as I was continuing on with the book, but it got easier to deal with, and then it also got resolved at the end of this book. So I was just like, okay, I don't like it, but this is fine. But there was also so many other things happening with the characters and with like the story and the reveals, and I really just enjoyed my time with it. There was more interesting stuff revealed kind of obliquely about the magic system, although I'm still upset we don't have like a true magic system that seems to have like true like rules that everybody knows. But also like I really just kind of enjoyed learning about everything. I will also note that this is obviously a second book in a trilogy, and I don't think it suffers from second book syndrome, where this book had a legitimate plot line that worked really well on its own, but also helped drive the overarching storyline of the trilogy. So I really just think that this was well done. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to land on the rating, but probably mid fours would be my guess. So yeah, so sneak peek for next week. I'm going to be picking up When Sorrows Come by Shauna Maguire. This one actually shouldn't take me long because Toby Day books never do. But that is all I have for this week. I read one book and very quickly DNF'd another, and I'm mostly okay with that. So that's it. If you have any thoughts about what I read or DNF'd, or you want to let me know what you've been reading, leave me a comment down below. But that is all I have. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.